Hello students, welcome to today's session. In today's session, we will going to discuss about ARM Cortex M3 processor. Okay, so first we will see what was the background requirement for development of ARM Cortex M3 processor. See, as according to the Moore's law, the size of any system becomes compact. Okay, then the cost is reducing with high performance. Okay, similarly, microcontrollers were having such applications that we had to increase the working ability. Okay, means more work should be was to be handled without increasing the product's frequency or product's power. Okay, so for this ARM Cortex M3 processor was developed. Moreover, like microcontrollers becoming very excessive use with inbuilt USB, Ethernet, or wireless radio connections. Okay, so that this communication through these communication channels, advanced peripherals could be connected. Okay, so for this ARM M3 Cortex processor was developed. Okay, so first generation of Cortex processor was ARM Cortex M3. Okay, developed in 2006 to target 32-bit microcontroller market. Okay, so this was the background requirement. Okay, students, the Cortex M3 processor provides excellent performance at low gate count. Okay, means number of gates that are used is less and comes with many features available at in only high-end processors. Okay, so remember this. So students, now we will see what are the features, means why this is more preferable than the normal ARM7 processor. Okay, increased performance efficiency. See, the rate of work done was more with the similar power requirement. Okay, means whatever the power input was to be given at the ARM7 processor, the same power input is given in over here, but more amount of work was done. Okay, by using this ARM Cortex M3 processor. Okay, low power consumption as the power consumption was less. Okay, so the battery life was increased. Okay, so in portable products it is was very useful. Okay, so wireless networking applications, it was very useful. In wireless networking applications like cordless phones, so this processor was used. Enhanced determinism, guaranteeing that critical task interrupts are serviced as quickly as possible in a known number of cycles. Okay, critical task interrupts are quickly served. Okay, means whatever the troubleshooting, if any interrupt is encountered, it was fixed very early at earliest. Okay, improved code density. See, in an embedded systems, a code which is very compact, okay, means which is in very less amount of lines, it is preferred, okay, because if there is less number of lines, so the memory requirement is very less, okay. So the code should fit in smallest memory footprints, okay. Then ease of use. So see students, this type of processors provided easier programmability, for increased number of 8-bit and 16-bit processor migrating to 32-bit. Okay, so means in earlier the applications where it was 8-bit and 16-bit, now it started using 16-bit 32-bit devices. Okay, lower cost and wide choice of development tools. See, the development tools were increased. Okay, like we could compile and execute with very different development tool vendors. Okay, and the cost was reduced as compared to 8-bit and 16-bit devices. Okay, so these are different features means in how which way 32-bit embedded processor become more popular in the market. See, this is the brief history. Okay, we will not enter more into its details. In 1990, ARM was joint venture of Apple company. Okay, VLSI Technology, Acorn Computer Group, and all. So it was further developed by Texas Instruments, NEC Sharp, okay, the different type of electronics chip generation companies. Okay, students. So low cost, power efficient processor design was made. So students, let's see in detail. So ARM extended its portfolio by three different profiles. Okay, A profile, R profile, and M profile. So A profile was designed for high performance on open application platforms. Okay, R was for real time performance. M was for embedded microcontroller systems. Okay. So A profile. Okay. So A profiles was used for applications that required high processing power, virtual memory support, and memory management units. And in additional, if they needed Java support, that was also provided. Now R profile. R profile was for real time, okay, real time high performance processors, okay, targeted at higher end of real time market. M profile was for targeting low cost applications, okay. Cost, power consumption, low interrupt latency, okay, and ease of use. These were features of it. Now let's observe the Cortex family development. Okay, so Cortex processor families were developed on architecture V7. Okay, so it was ARM V7M. Final architecture was developed, that was architecture V7. Okay, so these three profiles like V7A application, V7R real time, V7M microcontroller. Okay, this was observed. So students, the architecture processor nomenclature is like ARM7 TDMI, out of which T stands for thumb instruction set, D stands for debugging, JTAG debugging, M is fast multiplier, I is embedded ICE module. Okay. Now instruction set development. So as we discussed, there were ARM7 instruction set and thumb instruction set. Okay. So the basic difference between both was 32-bit was ARM and 16-bit was thumb. Okay. And thumb instruction set was having another version, thumb 2, which it had both 16-bit as well as 32-bit instructions. So in version 7, ARM migrated away from the complex numbering schemes and they simply called Cortex as the initial brand. Okay, it's like initially it was ARM 7 TDMI. So after version 7, it came Cortex M0, Cortex M1, Cortex M4, M3, and all. Okay. Now, this Cortex M3 architecture supports Thumb2 technology and Thumb2 instruction set. Thumb2 instruction set allows more complex operations. Okay, higher efficiency, reducing number of state switching between ARM and thumb state. Okay, see the diagram, like this is the subset and superset diagram. So Cortex M3 is a subset of thumb2 technology. Okay, then thumb instructions is subset of Cortex M3. Okay, the dotted line shows ARM v7m architecture. Okay, so now we saw the subset and superset relation between the processors. Okay. Now let's see what are different applications of Cortex M3 processor. Okay, so it could be like application means what is the working purpose. So low cost microcontroller, some embedded system are designed on basis on cost cutting function. Okay, like they are used basically for cost cutting. So, how is cost reduced? By lowering the power use, then high performance and convenience, that is ease of the usability. So, for this, the users means manufacturers this shifted to 32-bit system and products were developed using the Cortex M3 processor. Okay. Then in automotive applications, high performance and low interrupt latency were the features that allowed Cortex M3 to used in real-time systems. Okay. So Cortex M3 processor supports up to 240 external vectored interrupts. Okay, it is highly integrated and cost sensitive automotive application. Okay, used for that. Then data communications. See, Cortex M3 applications are also highly used in data communications. Okay, like applications like Bluetooth and Zigbee module. So for this Bluetooth HC05 for this module is imbibed using the embedded system. Okay, so for this we use the Cortex M3 processor. Other applications include industrial control. Okay, so in industrial control, simplicity, fast response, and reliability are the key factors. Okay, Then consumer products. So consumer products which support high efficiency and low power. Okay, for that Cortex M3 is used. So students, this all was for today. Okay, we will continue the remaining part in the next session. Thank you.